What you guys, they put this much power in a tiny PC. Minisforum G1 Pro is what we're going to be looking at today. This is an awesome mini PC. It has a dedicated GPU in the RTX 5060, and we have a Ryzen 9 processor in this mini PC as well, and a built-in power supply. It's got everything you need in a mini PC to replace a full-blown desktop. This is exactly what you can expect to get inside the box. You got a kettle lead here, which is your power cable. You can easily replace these and buy these online if you need to. Also, we have a HDMI cable here, and we have some screws. If you want to put in some more drives, you can do there with the heatsink and screws. This is because it has two M.2 slots inside here as well. One of them will be populated with a drive already. And we've got the stand and the warranty and user manual and the actual mini PC itself. Now, lots of people have been asking me to review this particular mini PC, so here you go. This is the actual mini PC right here. Looking on the front, we have the Minisforum logo on the top right, and we have the strips for RGB here. These can be changed inside the settings panel. We have the power button right here, and we also have another RGB on the left-hand side. Here we have a USB Type-A port. This is USB 3.2 Gen 2. We have one of those there, and we also have a USB Type-C port, which is USB 3.2 Gen 2 as well. Next to that, we have a 3.5mm combo audio jack 4-in-1 port there as well on the front. So that is the front of the actual device. I think it's a nice looking mini PC. You could call it a mini PC because that's exactly what this is. It's a bit bigger than your standard mini PC, but it is contained all in one unit. There's nothing on the bottom there apart from a place where you can put your bracket, but on the top bit there's some ventilation here to allow heat to dissipate from the actual unit itself. Let's move on down to the rear of the unit as well, so we can see the ports there. This is where your stand is going to go right here, so you can plug in your stand. I'll show you that a little bit later on, but that's sealed right there. There's no ventilation there at all. On the back we have the ports on the back here. So starting off on the right hand side, you'll probably see that is where your power supply is going to be internal on this one. So many people have asked for an internal power supply, and Minisforum have finally done it. So you got your power switch there on the right and your input here for your power cable, which is your kettle cable, we call them in the UK. We also have an Ethernet port just right next to that as well. And that is a 5 gigabit Ethernet port, and it's the RTL 8126 supported. So let's take a look. Next to that, we do have a HDMI port. This is HDMI 2.1 8K at 60 Hertz support for that particular one. We have two of those on there. Also, we have two USB ports, two USB Type-A ports, USB 3.2 Gen 2, and we also have a USB Type-C port on there as well. And this is only data on the back. And a reset area, and we have this expansion area here, which is going to allow heat to dissipate out the back for the CPU. And we have a DP 2.1B port on there. There's two of those, and there's also a DP 1.4A port on there as well, and that HDMI port above it, that makes two of those on there as well. Plenty of ventilation on this side here. This is where all the air is going to be taken in and extracted. And I really do like the overall design of this mini PC. And again, like I said before, this can replace your desktop PC because we do have an RTX 5060 in here. So here we've got a couple of screws here that you'll need to undo so you can gain access to inside. So I've already undone those screws, and it just slides forward like so, and it will come off. And there should be a metal plate here which will help with heat dissipation as well, and some ventilation right there. And you can see that's what it should look like. So you can gain access to this and keep it nice and clean as well. So this is the actual internals right here. We've got a dedicated GPU and power supply inside here. It's absolutely amazing how they've done this. A 350 watt power supply, also included here with some braided cables. And you'll see just below that there is two M.2 slots there for your drives, which are below here. Decent cable management here as well. and you can see that GPU there, which is a Gigabyte RTX 5060. So you've got your Wi-Fi card here and two M.2 slots, and there is also two DIMM slots here, which means it's not surface mounted memory, which means it's upgradable. And we have a blower type cooler here. So we've also got the Gigabyte RTX 5060 low profile card here, which means it probably could be upgraded in the later date if you needed to, but you might need to look at the power for the power supply. It looks like the power supply can also be upgraded because it is interchangeable with other models. So this is an upgradable mini PC for once, and it does have internal GPU and power supply. You can see right here, max power 350 watts for the power supply, and that's to drive also a Ryzen 9 8945HX, 16 cores, 32 threads, maximum turbo frequency of 5.4 gigahertz. We also have the memory here. The memory inside this is DDR5 up to 5200 megahertz dual channel. Max speed is 5200 megahertz. Max capacity is up to 96 gigabytes you can put in here. Wi-Fi also is supported, Wi-Fi 7, and also that is the MT7925 and Bluetooth 5.4. Let's go ahead and mount the actual bottom stand here. It's just a screw on. So Minisforum have really knocked this out the park with this mini PC. It's probably the best mini PC that I've reviewed on this channel. It's an absolute beast of a mini PC. Now, the RGB itself can be controlled with a piece of software that comes pre-installed from Minisforum. You can either turn it off or you can change it to breathable, wave, or whatever it is you want to set it up for. There's plenty to choose from, but if you want to turn it off, you can do as well. Now, let's take a full look at the specs here. I'm not going to go through all of these, but let's just talk about the actual drives that are inside here. It does come pre-installed with 1 terabyte drive, but these can be upgraded to 4 terabytes. And there's 2 of these M.2 slots. They support 2230 and also 2280 NVMe SSD slots on here. And these are PCI Express 4. So we've got a 3 modes here: Beast Mode, Gaming Mode, and Office Mode. Beast Mode is CPU 100 watts and GPU will be 145 watts. Gaming Mode will be CPU 80 watts and GPU will be 145 watts. And Office Mode will be CPU 60 watts and GPU 145 watts. So the GPU doesn't really change, just the CPU does in wattage. Also, the fans on this are pretty good as well. The temps are running a little high at the moment, and that's because it's doing stuff in the background, which I should have cancelled. We do have a Kingston drive in here, a 1 terabyte drive, but this can be upgraded to a 4 terabyte if you wanted to, and there's 2 of those slots, so you could have 2 4 terabytes of storage in here. Like I said, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060. You got full control of all of your RGB here, whether you want to use twin jump, breathe mode, flow mode, always on, rainbow wave, continuous flow, and even energy charge. So you can do any of that stuff inside here. So a pretty nice overall looking bit of software for controlling what type of mode you want to use. It's got a 2-sided exhaust design on here to keep the system nice and cool. 3,600 revs per minute fan speed, silent fans in this. It was hardly making any noise under full load. And we do have that 5 pure copper heat pipes for cooling down the actual CPU as well. As you would expect with Minisforum, they go above and beyond to make sure the system is nice and cool. We do have 32 gigabytes of installed RAM inside here, which can be upgraded as we talked about earlier. And we have Windows 11 Pro pre-installed. That needs to be upgraded because it's 24H2, but I could run 24H2 on here if I wanted to, or I could completely wipe this and put Linux on here if I wanted to as well. Cinebench R26, we've got 30,530 points on the multi-core, and on the single-core score, we've got 1,924. Pretty impressive scores. Moving on to Geekbench, we got the single-core score of 2,766 and a multi-core score of 11,371. For the GPU scores on Geekbench 6, you can get these types of scores, which is 132,910. That is also using the RTX 5060. So pretty impressive. This should play AAA listed games, no problem whatsoever. It should cover all of your needs for what you want to do, whether it be rendering, gaming, whatever it is. 3D Mark score, 13,000 and 16 points overall on Time Spy. The graphics score was 13,574 and the CPU score was 10,558. Pretty impressive, really, for a mini PC. And for those people that were saying a mini PC would never replace a desktop PC, well, this one will. So the drive that comes installed in here, the reads on it is 6,039.16 and the writes is 5,287.28. So again, you can upgrade these to faster drives if you want to, but that is a pretty impressive score and I would leave it just as it is and install another drive in here for your games. That's exactly what I would do if this was me using this on a daily basis. Now, if you're wondering whether you can put multiple monitors on here, of course you can. It's got 3 DP ports and 2 HDMI ports. That means you can have quad 4K displays on here, which is pretty impressive. Let's do a quick stress test on the system, and we can also take a look at CPU-Z for the CPU, memory, and also motherboard. You can see that is the CPU there, Dragon range, and maximum TDP 55 watts, and you've got all the other information on the screen. The motherboard in here is made by that manufacturer right there. I'm not going to try and pronounce that because I'll probably butcher the name, but you can see it is a Chinese manufacturer, as you'd expect. And then we also have the memory inside here. Now, they have only got 1 stick of memory inside here, and that's because of the memory shortage and the pricing of the memory right now. So you can see we do have 1 stick in here, but I would advise you when the prices come down to stick another 32 gigs inside here if you wanted to, and you would have dual channel because it will perform much better on dual channel rather than single channel. It's on single channel right now with 32 gigs in it. There is the RTX 5060, and you've also got the onboard graphics as well, which is the Radeon 610M, which comes with that processor that's inside there. So you've got a choice whether you want to use onboard or RTX 5060. So pretty impressive stuff. Let's have a look at the stress test for the CPU right here and see what the thermals are like on this. And we're running on beast mode right now as well. And you can see the temperatures are going up to about 80 Celsius, 81 Celsius there. And again, there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy in some of these results because we're using the sensor software here. But it's pretty impressive right here. There's no thermal throttling whatsoever. It's running perfectly fine under full load. You're probably never, ever going to stress test it as much as what this is. So it's pretty capable of doing all your video editing, all your creativity work, your gaming, and all that sort of stuff. You're probably only going to get around about 60 to 70 Celsius when gaming. I think it's amazing how they've packed all of this power into that little tiny device. It really is. And again, it can be upgradable as well, and also parts can be replaced. Let's just run the Jellyfish 400 Mbps 4K Ultra HD HEVC 10-bit file. As you would expect, it's playing this no problem at all with that Ryzen 9 processor in here, and it should instantly start straight away, as you'd expect. So it will play all of your 4K movies as well. If you want to stream them, it will do that as well. I'll show you the streaming right now. No problems at all. As you'd expect, true 4K here. No drop frames, apart from 5 when it first starts, and every single machine will do that. But once it stabilizes, there's no problems at all here. Absolutely fine for all of your 4K streaming needs. Now, if you're looking to play games on your mini PC, then yes, it will play all types of games at pretty high frame rates as well. I'm not going to go through tons of games. I'm just going to play one game here. This is Sekiro. I've not played it before, and I'm going to give this a proper game at some point because I actually quite enjoyed playing it. Once I started, I couldn't stop. But it is quite tricky. You have to be careful because you have to be stealth because obviously you are injured right now. You can see I'm in low health, and this is how the game starts. And you have to basically get to the next zone where you can get your samurai sword and then heal up and then go and take revenge. And it's quite a good game by the looks of it. I've never played it before, but as you can see, it is smooth, as you'd expect with that Ryzen 9 processor and also the RTX 5060. So again, plenty capable of playing games. You do have that dedicated GPU there, which is completely capable of playing all of your favorite games, whether it be first-person shooters or whether it be adventure games or whatever it may be. You can play those particular games with this setup. So if you're wondering about whether mini PCs can handle games, if you get the right one like this one, this is probably the one you should be going for, because with that dedicated GPU, it's going to be beneficial to you. So what are my final thoughts on the Minisforum Atom Man G1 Pro? Well, I think it's probably the best mini PC on the market. It does have that dedicated GPU, a built-in power supply. Both of these units can be replaced and upgraded, and it has easy maintenance cleaning. You do have 2 sodium memory slots on here. They're not soldered to the board, which means you can upgrade these at a later date and also replace them if they fail. The other thing is obviously the CPU is soldered to the board, but it's still a Ryzen 9 processor. So all in all, I do think this is a really decent mini PC. It's going to cost a fair bit of money because of the components that you're having in here. They're all dedicated components apart from the CPU, but all in all, it's a really good all-round mini PC, probably the best on the market. And when you're talking about bleeding edge technology like this and the way it's been built and designed, this does come at a cost and a premium. Now, of course, the way that the cost of living is going right now, with memory prices through the roof and SSD prices through the roof, this is obviously going to reflect in the price, and this is why this particular machine will be probably quite expensive. That being said, you do get quite a bit of bang for your buck. Now, I do want to point out that Minisforum did send this item out for review, but no one is reviewing this content before it's released, and no money has changed hands to sway my opinion. My opinion is my own, and I do stand by my opinion quite firmly. This is a pretty decent mini PC. Now, like I've told you many times, if you find the price of these a little bit too expensive because it is bleeding edge technology, then you can use one of the more affordable mini PCs that Minisforum have to offer. They have plenty to choose from to fit everyone's budget. So depending on what your budget is will determine what type of mini PC you would get, and also determine on what type of things you want to do with your mini PC will determine what sort of money you need to spend. Again, something like this is the creme de la creme. It is one of the best mini PCs on the market. So it's going to cost a fair bit of money. So you pays your money and you takes your choice. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. I shall catch you in the next video. Bye for now.